Hey, I'm Gino. I'm going to change these handlebars on this 1979 Suzuki GS750l. Luckily, it doesn't look too bad, just a couple of bolts and screws holding everything in place. These are the shorter handlebars that I will be installing to make the bike look a little bit more sporty rather than a cruiser. First step is to remove anything loosely attached to the bars, like the cables and the wires and stuff like that. After that, there are just a couple of Phillips head screws underneath the controls. Step 2 would be to remove these screws and keep them in a safe place because you just don't want to be losing them. Step 3 is to slide your handlebar grips off. Don't be afraid about breaking anything. They're gonna need some elbow grease to be removed because they've probably been on there since 1979 and they're probably not gonna come off right away, but there's nothing holding them on. Sometimes there might be an adhesive, but a majority of the time there really isn't. Just repeat the same process on the other side. Don't worry if everything isn't coming off because of the handlebar length. Just leave everything loose until you're ready to actually physically remove the main handlebars, because sometimes the handlebars are just too long to remove any of the controls or the grips or stuff like that, and you can't slide them off properly. Step 4 is to remove your brake/clutch levers, also your side mirrors. The size may vary from 12 to 14 millimeter. I believe mine was 14 millimeter or 12 millimeters for my mirror and 14 for my actual handlebars themselves. Some bikes use Allen keys. Some bikes have different types of bolts depending on what year and what model. You need to look that up specifically for yourself and for your bike, but hopefully if you have a whole set, you shouldn't need to. There are only a couple bolts on the front and the side of it, so it shouldn't be that hard to see. Repeat the process for the other side of the bike, but be careful when it's removed. You don't want to flip the brake reservoir upside down or leave it on its side or dangling. The cap should seal it and nothing should leak out, but that doesn't mean you should try it anyway. If it does leak out, that means you have a bad seal. What you should do is actually put a towel on the top of your gas tank, just so when you're ready to take the bars off or the reservoir or something, you can lean it up on top of it and not actually scratch your bike. Step 5 is to remove the handlebars. The size should also vary, like I said. I believe mine was a 14, but obviously some of them use different types of bolts. I think most of them use Allen keys, if I'm not mistaken. Make sure you just loosen all of them up first. Don't just remove them because you don't want your handlebars to just fall off and fall on the ground with all your controls and stuff. Now, if you haven't removed the grips yet or the other parts off the bars, now would be a good time to do so while it's loose, or if you fully remove one part of it, or if you remove the whole thing just so you can slide everything off. Now would be a good time to remove it. Step 6 would be to grab your new handlebars and put them back on. The length of the bars should not be an issue to reinstall things like the levers or the reservoir or the grips or anything like that. That was really only for the factory bars, but now since it's shorter, it should work out. Should, but don't quote me. Might be different for you based on what bars you're installing. Slide everything on loosely and then go ahead and just lightly tighten, if that makes any sense, your handlebars down, but don't fully tighten them. So don't fully tighten them down because you want to adjust the position of where you want them to be for whatever's comfortable for you or whatever looks good, and however your controls and bars and grips and everything go on the actual handlebars themselves. Torque specs may vary based on the bolt size, so I would triple check your setup to see what type of bolts you have, or stuff like that, or specific gears or VINs, just to make sure that when you torque it down properly. Don't do it like me, where I'm doing it based on feel. I trust myself enough, that's why I'm doing it. Now, if you made it to this point in the video, you don't need to subscribe, you don't need to like, but I would like you to critique the video so far, and I would also like you to leave a comment at the end, maybe at the end of the video or when I'm done, to let me know how I'm doing or if you have any questions or anything like that. I appreciate feedback more than I do likes and subscriptions. Step 7 is to now reinstall everything you took off in the optimal position of choice. On some of the controls, there is a metal tab that needs to be slightly bent downwards, and the reason why is because on the factory controls, the metal tab is used to lock everything in place. Now, if you just put everything back the way it should be and tighten everything normally, everything should be held in place. Nothing should be sliding around or moving. Those are really just a secondary mechanism to make sure that nothing's moving on the factory bars, but everything should just screw up together. And as long as you don't bend it back all the way and just a little bit, it'll still keep tension on your new bars. For the grips, I use sunscreen and sprayed it on the bars and slid them back on. The sunscreen dries after a couple hours. That's why you don't use anything like WD-40 or something like that. You don't want to use soap or whatever. I mean, you could use soap, but sunscreen is a good lubricant. It dries off quickly, and it won't just leave a residue or make anything rust or anything crazy like that. So go ahead and spray that on your grips and your handlebars. I ended up taking my mirrors off because I just didn't like the way they looked. The whole Mickey Mouse look with the big goofy looking mirrors looks great on the factory bars as a cruiser, but not something with a sportier look. I'm probably going to end up getting some sleeker ones over time. Step 8 would be to attach all of the loose wires and cables back onto the new bars. Make sure they are all taut and not rigid. The cables and wires need to be flexible. They need to be able to move when you're turning or when your suspension compresses. You don't want to pinch anything or pull anything out. Step 9 would just be to double or triple check everything and just stand back and appreciate your work. I like it. All right, hope this helps everybody. You don't have to like the video and you don't have to subscribe. But what I do ask is that you comment. I do appreciate comments, and I like being able to answer people's comments. If anybody needs help with anything and any advice, shoot. I will get back to you on it. That's all. All right, hope everybody enjoyed. See you later.